Good morning, boys. Welcome to another episode of The Four Idiots presented by Fade You. I am your host this beautiful Saturday morning, Joey Cheese. I got my man's Kmart with me and my boy Chaz McLongball. What up, boys?
Yo, yo.
What
Um,
up? I'm just chilling at the pumpkin patch here.
nice. Unfortunately, we were supposed to have Gino with us this morning. I don't believe we're going to be having him on this morning. But we love Gino. Shout out Bet Openly. I think Duke's going to be jumping on. The poop master himself might be coming on here in a few minutes. But real quick, Kmart, if you don't mind, for the boys, could you go over last week's stuff? We like to be transparent here.
That makes one of us. Just kidding. So yeah, here we go. So I'll just put it all together. So I got lucky. I got very lucky with Wisconsin. But was very happy going into that USC game, just getting a bang bang, thinking I might have a 3-0, but not so fast. It was Mr. Cheese going 3-0 with Alabama with that amazing second half comeback. Ohio State, I think we were all on his you know what riding it. That was a fun morning. And I gave out an under and it hit. Can you believe it? So pretty fun morning.
Dude, you look at that, man, that's a great week. I remember, this is what the boys are here for. I remember a couple weeks ago, Chaz was going 2-1, and like I was like 1-3. So we pick each other up around here. It's great.
Yeah,
that's a good week for the boys.
Got the cover, but they went for 2 at the end. Like it was just kind of a weird thing. Oklahoma played like shit. Like I don't expect Chase to go 0-3. How did you see last week playing out, Chase?
The Oklahoma game was weird because they dominated the entire first quarter, just like everyone kind of expected them to, and they came away with 7 total points. So I don't know that it was necessarily the game didn't go as expected. It just there was some wonky turnovers, a couple missed field goals, all in the first half. Navy lost by a half point on a 2-point conversion late. That was fun. And then App State, the weird one was what I was really expecting was if once App State got the lead, their pass rush was so much better than Old Dominion. And Old Dominion had given up so many sacks. I'm like, man, this could get out of hand in a hurry. And all of that happened, and they lost.
It's crazy.
So just kind of an unexpected way that the scoreboard sort of worked itself out. But I don't know.
Pick yourself up. Bounce back big this week, buddy.
Yep. Yeah, I got 3 that'll go out this week. You want me to go ahead and rattle them off?
Yeah, Chaz got to get to work. He's out in his nice sport jacket, ready to go make some monies. Yeah. But why don't you hit us with some of your stuff real quick so you can go do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I gotta go support my gambling habits. I got Baylor +3 this week. I think Baylor's a much better team with Shapen under center. They've looked pretty bad early in the year, but they've righted the ship the last few weeks. It hasn't been pretty, but at home, I expect them to play really well comparatively to the way they've looked the first few weeks of the season. I don't think Iowa State's really a world beater. I don't like anytime I'm getting a Big 12 team like that at home. I always think it's going to be a dogfight. So I'm going to take Baylor in the points. I was going to make this my best bet. I decided against it. I'm going to take Rice +10.5. I liked Rice +10.5 because I'm getting over 10 points at home with a veteran quarterback. Even if this game does get a little ugly early, they're averaging over 300 yards a game passing the ball. I think they could cover it multiple ways. I think they could win this game outright and be very competitive the whole game, or I could totally see a backdoor cover. Best bet of the week, I'm going Purdue +2.5 off the bye. Nebraska, when you break down the 2 schedules, Nebraska has a better record and has played no one. They're terrible. They're not good. They have horrible quarterback play. They turn the ball over left and right. They rely solely on the run game. I get Purdue off a bye, whose losses are Ohio State, Iowa. They're 2-5, but all the 5 teams that they've lost to are all pretty legit. The only mutual opponent between Nebraska and Purdue is Illinois, and both of them won handily. So I'm going to take the Boilermakers getting 2.5.
And like I just saw that line, it's actually come down to 1.5. So literally in the last 30 minutes.
I like a money line. I think you're going to win outright.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Clint in the chat. Chaz looks like he's on Wager Talk today.
Yeah, I'm trying to look all professional.
Yeah, Clint's the man, dude. Huge supporter of ours, so we appreciate you, buddy. Cool, Chaz. Thanks for putting all yours out there for us. Noted. I will be riding for sure. I expect a big bounce back from you here this week.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see what you guys got so I can put some last minute bets in while I'm trying to work.
That's it.
Yeah.
Cool. And Kmart, you want to hit us with something?
Yeah. But just to run through chases again, because that was pretty quick. Obviously, Purdue here plus 2.5. Also, the Baylor Bears at +3. And them Rice Owls. I think that line's at 10 now. But shop around. There still might be some 10.5s. So yeah, I mean, I'm liking all those. Those are 3 sides I'd lean on too. So I'm feeling pretty good going into this week. I'm gonna wait on one because I hope Chris joins us at some point here, and we have the same. So I think I'm gonna go here.
I'm gonna bounce real quick, fellas.
All right, guys.
We'll holler later.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the Boomer Sooners. It's actually ticked up to 9 now, so lot of line movement here early. This is kind of why we wanted to start doing this show an hour before kickoff because there's a lot of movement. But all I've been hearing all week, Kansas, great at running the ball, great at home. As we just saw last week, the Sooners didn't look that great for 4 quarters. I think they played better, as Chase was alluding to. So I think a lot of that is, this is so many points. I think this opened at 10.5. And at that point, I was still kind of leaning Sooners because it seemed like a bait line. But as this started just getting hammered down, it just became an instant, as Chris would call it, snap call, fade the line movement. I feel like if I track these where lines move this drastically, everyone talks about CLV, but it's kind of become a joke now. I like the Sooners here in this spot, to win by probably more than 10. I think I saw a nice stat last week is the closest game these schools have played since the last time Kansas won in 1998, I think, was last year in a 10-point Oklahoma win. And I think Oklahoma is better than last year. And I think Kansas is not as good. I mean, Joey, how many weeks in a row were we just bashing Kansas?
So, I mean, I've played against them multiple times this year. They're not a team that I, want to speak highly of. But not, neither is this Oklahoma team. Off the record, I mean, that we're on different sides here. I did play Kansas here earlier in the week. Decided not to give it out on this show because I have a much better number than what was available when we went live this morning.
What number did you get? 10.5?
No, 9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, but when
that's not terrible because it's at 9 now. Like it's
but when we were going live, it was at 8.
Was it really?
15 minutes ago, it was at 8.
Wow.
So yeah, I just think Bean's an upgrade from Daniels. I think they run the ball all over this Oklahoma D. And not for nothing that Oklahoma has not impressed me recently. But that is an off the record play. I played it earlier in the week and didn't feel comfortable giving it out here, but I did play it. So I got a couple spots I want to talk about. I played UCLA at -14.5. Just as much as this is a play on UCLA, this is a play against this garbage ass Colorado squad. Freshman quarterback Dante Moore, I expect him to be able to light this secondary up. Colorado's absolutely had the wheels fall off after after 2 weeks into the season, they were college football playoff contenders and Heisman Trophy candidate, fucking quarterback, and coach of the year, Deion Sanders. So yeah, they've come back down to reality, and I fully expect them to get the fucking doors blown off today by this UCLA offense. So yeah, UCLA minus 14.5 is my first official play for the show. Glad I didn't play it earlier in the week when it was minus 16, but I actually think they're good up to minus 20.5 here. I expect them to.
I love it when you give out outlines. That's that extra boost of confidence.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with you. Like we were talking before the show, and just in time, we got the poop master here. Look at all the idiots are busy today. But I'm glad Chris is here because I think a lot of people think baited lines are,
Is Chris on a fucking jog?
Yeah.
Oh, get fucked, dude. Get out of here. Fucking working out. What a fucking
man, that's
loser.
classic. He's got to work off all the booze he's going to drink today.
Yeah. Gotta make up for costing me that fucking Diamondbacks under last night, you scumbag.
Hey, let's double down under tonight, baby.
I agree with that with these two pitchers, but like UCLA minus 14.5, like a lot of the public, they're going to look at that hook 14.5. I think that's a good number because that's 3 scores, as we know. But that's kind of where, I think we've learned with a lot of losses through our years is, it's a good line to play on UCLA. And what I was telling Joey is I actually think UCLA in a few weeks is going to beat the living piss out of my USC Trojans. Yes, Chris, my USC Trojans. They have a really good defense. Their offense is a work in progress. But if you go back to a few weeks ago, USC was beating the living piss out of Colorado in Colorado.
Hey, time out real quick. Sorry, Gino just hit me up. He wants to join. Could you get him the link?
I did. I DM'd it to him 10 minutes ago.
Oh.
And he was messaging me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I like UCLA in this spot. I mean, I agree. They probably win this thing by 20 plus points. I don't know if I want to do an outline of 20.5, but 19.5 I might get down with. But yeah, Chris, you got anything on this?
No, I know Kelly and everyone's setting like the ticket counts of the heavy teams. The only dog on that list of like 70-80% of tickets was Colorado. So, you gotta love to see that when everyone's hammering the favorites, but then they choose that one, sexy looking dog that they think couldn't possibly be getting. I mean, it makes sense, right? Wait a second.
Dude, Duke, you saw I sent it to the group chat. Me and Kmart were just talking about it before you joined. Pat Everton tweeted out, there is not a single dollar or single ticket wagered on UCLA at BetMGM. Every single ticket is on fucking Colorado. I mean, obviously, I'm sure that's just I'm sure that's not 100% of the tickets, but more or less saying, the house needs UCLA here because I'm seeing everywhere Colorado is the largest bet underdog of the day, both with the spread and on the money line.
Our boy Clint, he always hits me up throughout the week, asks what we're on. He's like, he was on UCLA, a little earlier, wins out the rest. He's high on them. So go Clint, go.
I am too. Honestly, I am too. I mean, I watched that entire game against, I think it was Washington State, when they were both undefeated. And I was very impressed. Very impressed with what I saw. So I'm pretty high on them as well. And we just got Gino here.
My man.
Y'all see me?
Gino,
yeah,
what up?
How we living, my degens?
I don't know. Could you see
good.
us? Are we here?
Look at that, dude.
Are we here? What's good, man? Thanks for joining us.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
so,
Thanks for coming.
Just so people know, Gino is founder and owner of Bet Openly. Gino, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself and how they can find you?
Yeah. Mostly on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. It's just Gino, Gino bet openly is the handle. And yeah, man, I spend about 8 hours a day giving out plays and picks and capping games and doing degen shit.
Gino, I actually can't believe you just said Gino. Like, I was telling my wife, you know, a little bit about you and what you do this morning, and she's like, "Are you gonna call him Gino?" And I'm like, "I think I have to." And then you just come out and say it yourself. Oh man, that's great. But yeah, I mean, why we got you? If you even want to jump into your dog of the day.
Yeah, 100%. Let me pull everything up just so we're on the same page.
Colorado.
And any opinion here, Gino? I just gave out UCLA minus 14.5.
I like UCLA. I think they're one of the more underrated teams. So yeah, you have my support on that one.
Nice. Yeah, we were just talking about how Colorado seems to be the dog of the day. Everybody in America, they can't get enough of this team, even after blowing that lead to Stanford last week in the second half. Public still wants to back them.
Yeah, and UCLA's defense is good enough that they can hold them to next to nothing. I think it's a very strong play.
Yeah, I agree. And I think Dante Moore, I think he absolutely eats this Colorado secondary up.
What secondary?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
We're okay, so I'll give you guys a couple different plays. I text them over, but I'll explain. Yeah. I'll kind of break it all down, and you all tell me what you want to do with it. But my number one play of the day from a value perspective, I like NC State first half plus 5.5. I think that's way too many points to be giving this NC State team. I've been fading Clemson all year. I gave out the Clemson win total under this year, and just so you know, it won at 2 losses. Now they have 3, so that won pretty damn quick. I just think people can't get away from Clemson. They believe they should be bouncing back, and I genuinely believe this NC State team is on a more level playing field than people believe. You give me at home plus 5.5. I'm comfortable with the tie game here, of course, and maybe, just maybe, they're down 3.
Yeah, no, I like that.
I couldn't agree with you anymore.
Right now, before I forget, like Chase and I both liked NC State plus 10, but that number kind of came down. I think it was going to be one of his 3, but he took it out. Just similar reasons why Joey took out Kansas. Just had a number that nobody can really get anymore. Trying not to be like a lot of other shows that give out impossible numbers.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I'm glad you guys said that, because that's actually one of the reasons why I like the 5.5 more than the 9.5 is that we lost the hook in the game, and I genuinely don't see them down more than 3 at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, this Clemson team has been a fade for me since day one. It's no secret. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm high on this Florida State team. I gave them out at the beginning of the year to win the Natty, and I expected Clemson to fall off at the beginning of this season. Didn't really see them having 3 L's already, but I didn't expect them to be the powerhouse others did. So, yeah, it's NC State or nothing here for me for sure.
I like it.
Nice. Duke, you got another one? Duke, you got one for us?
What did Kmart do already?
Do
Oklahoma before you
do
came.
This one, Chris, if you can see it.
Okay, I'll do that one. Yeah, it's disgusting. Cincy's, I think, lost 5 in a row. Okie State's looked great. 3 big wins. Just came back a double-digit win at West Virginia. Now they're coming home. Cincy, they're pretty scrappy dogs. The line was 7.5 earlier in the week, and it went down. I know I saw it in my book, 6.5, so it got nuked, and then I think it settled back up right around 7. But I think it's gross. Maybe a flat spot coming back. Gundy does have these games in him where, we saw it earlier this year, South Alabama. So I'm going to take those Bearcats road dog plus 7, baby.
Yeah, I mean, that's about as shitty as it gets, dude. I mean, this team is fucking awful. Yeah, I think it for sure could be a buy low spot here.
Are you sprinkling on the money line too?
Yeah, Kelly's too pussy to throw it in her parlay, but I'll throw it in my dog parlay.
Nice.
I like this all the way to.
I honestly like them a lot more than I do Kansas to win out, and even I know, shocker, coming from the USC homer, but even more than Cal. I'm fading all that narrative, and I'm probably going to fade that play too later on. But yeah, I like that play as well. I couldn't get there, but I'm probably going to follow you. We all know I'm a complete degenerate.
I think this USC team is fucking dead.
Oh,
Dead.
they are.
I think they are absolutely
I think this
dead.
is their last win of the season.
Yeah, I think they are absolutely dead.
I do the over in that game. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do think this is an absolute fireworks show.
What is it?
What number did you get it at?
I gave it out at 65. I think it's now 66 or 67, but I have the true line at 60.5. So that's one of the ones, guys, that if you haven't betted yet, I'm telling you, I still believe you're EV positive all the way up to 68.5. So I would lower it. I gave it out as a 2-unit back then.
It's at 67.5 now across the board.
Yeah, wow. So I would just go 1 unit. Don't lower the bet, but I still find it EV positive just because you did lose 3.5 points. But yeah, there's no reason I don't believe this game gets to 70.
Wow, just straight fireworks, huh?
That's what I'm seeing. The USC people are, they're selling Caleb, and they should be. He can't do crap against a good defense, but this isn't a good defense. And I also believe that Cal's gonna be able to put up points.
That was my question. You think Cal could score?
Yeah, I think this is like a 40-30 game.
Wow.
Yeah, it's gonna look a lot like the Husky Cal game, where it's just fucking all over.
Well, I see this. I mean, Gino, tell me if you kind of agree, but I actually see USC jumping out early, and then Cal just comes back second half and probably gives them a scare. I think they can cover, but I actually think SC gets up. I'm not going to say 21-0, but I think they actually look what we saw earlier in the year, and then just kind of give it all back in the second half, as they have done for years, even before Lincoln Riley.
And I try and not buy into narratives and just stick to all data, but I will say there's no chance USC likes that everyone has basically laughed at them for the last 2 weeks. And I genuinely believe they think they over try to score, and I actually think that leaves them for exposure. I think USC actually has some turnovers and gives up some points to Cal that way by pushing and not even playing good football. So, yeah, I have this capped at 40-30.
I'm not going to lie. I am riding at 67.5 for sure.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I probably will too.
Nice.
Gino,
I love over.
You just got to cheer.
I got another one you want to give out? I know you sent us a couple.
Yeah, I do want to warn everyone, though, because it's going to be a humble brag. I'm up 42 units this month. I bet 1 unit on most plays. I've maybe had 2 or 3 red days and everything else green. So please don't overbet my plays. I got to come back down to earth. I'm just being honest. This is my second best month in the last 2 years.
Dude, that literally ties into exactly what Smart Money was talking about yesterday, about how guys want to jump in when I'm hot and don't expect me to come back down to earth. It's fucking reality. It's reality, dude.
Yeah.
Not going to run off 12 months straight of pure bangers. It doesn't work that way.
Smart and
You're Joey Cheese.
We text each other's full card. But first we make our cards. We don't share any information before our cards are made. And then we move our plays up and down a half a unit if it's the same, or down a half unit if it's the opposite. Yeah. And it's been working for us.
Dude, I really respect that dude in the industry. I think he's great. I went to go click on his link yesterday for something with him and JJ, and it was like SMS Sports has you blocked. I had to hit him up on TikTok, yo, can you please unblock me? I'm a supporter. I don't talk shit.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll tell him what's up. Every day.
We're good. Yeah. So what do you got for us, Gino?
Yeah, I'll give you guys my chalkiest play, my squarest play of the day. It's going to be Tennessee -4. This is a team, I'll be honest with you guys, this was one of my worst losses last week. I had Tennessee money line, and I had Tennessee plus the points. And I was chest out at halftime and then tail between the legs after the game. So long story short, I just believe they're genuinely better than this Kentucky team. And I have them 7 points better than this Kentucky team. So at 4, it's not sharp. Oh, sorry, my little one's going nuts.
No, you're good.
I'm good.
Hi, little one. We'll hand her over.
What's up?
But no,
Does she have a best bet for us?
she doesn't yet, but she'll be. I can't believe this line isn't 6. I know why it's not 6. It's actually a pretty fair market line, so it's my chalkiest, squarest play. I just believe Tennessee is that much better, and I would not be surprised if they win this game by double digits. Like I'm targeting like 13 points. So, from a data perspective, it's my squarest play of the day. I like Tennessee early. That line stuck. I've looked at money distribution, line movement, nothing. It's not a sharp play. I just believe you're getting the better team, and you're getting them cheap to me at 2 free points.
I think Kentucky's a square dog today.
I think it's over popular on Kentucky's money.
Like Charlotte last night.
Did have that over. That over was.
I gave out the over last night on Twitter. I gave that out on Twitter yesterday. I was on that over too.
That was. I couldn't believe it. I told people, I was like, guys, I've been kind of hot, so I'm going to overbet this, but it just feels way off. So my last one, I don't know if people are going to like this one, but it's the under 49 in UF and Georgia. So I think the UFD shows up. I know the Georgia D shows up, but I think the UFD shows up enough for the first half. I was almost on Florida first half in the points. Then I got away from it because I was like, wait, Georgia could just kind of shut them down completely. We don't know how good of a Georgia D we're going to get today. But I went back and I re-looked at it. If the Florida D just shows up a little bit this first half and the Georgia D does exactly what we expect them to do, this can be like a 14-7 at half and you're feeling really good. And that's assuming all touchdowns. Or we get something even better, like
10-3.
Yeah, 17-3, 10-3, something like that. So I do believe this is going to war. Everyone knows these teams have history. There is a disproportionate skill set in these two teams, but I think Georgia holds them to next to nothing in this first half, and then Florida actually shows up. We've seen Georgia struggle a couple times in the first half, so this might be one, and I don't do this often, but if I get exactly what I'm expecting and I can have like a 14-point middle at halftime, I will bet the over and then middle it by 14 points. But the only reason why I'm not betting the first half under here is I just believe that both these teams come out and battle from every minute of the game, and I try and stay away from first halves when I haven't lost any value. And at 49, I haven't lost any value. So I try and bet games more than I bet first halves.
Smart. Same. I definitely could not bet the over. I couldn't bet the over here in this spot for sure. Especially no Brock Bowers. I mean, we've seen how bad Georgia's looked. I mean, I got lucky. I bet them one time this year, and it was when I forgot who they blew the fuck out of Kentucky.
Exactly.
Was the only time I was on them all year. But
it's scary. We know that Georgia can throw up 40 in this game. So then am I really betting 40-7? Like, damn, I would rather have Georgia minus the points then. But I think it's the Florida defense that wins us this game or makes us feel the most secure, because I think we know we're getting the Georgia defense.
Nice. Anyone else? I have one more.
Chris and I still got two more, but we share Wisconsin plus 14.5. So we'll just tag team it. For me, I'll make this quick. It's pretty simple. Ohio State obviously had a tough battle last week against Penn State. Wisconsin didn't look good. Probably should have lost. Had that nice fourth quarter, which of course I was on them. I got lucky. I will take it. So it just seems like another flat spot for Ohio State. 14.5 is a lot. And what's going to be another defensive battle. I mean, shit, I probably could look at the under here. I just am not very good at totals. That's why it was a shocker for me betting one last week, and probably why we all should have followed it, because it's just so rare. But yeah, like the Badgers in this spot, I think they're just going to ground and pound. It's going to speed up the game. Less possessions for Ohio State and Marvin Harrison, and probably lose by 10. I don't think they're going to win this thing outright, but I do like them to cover 14.5. Well, how do you like this game, Chris?
Yeah, you pretty much summed it up. I told Cheese the only thing I wish is that, not for your bet, but just for perception, I wish they did actually get knocked off by Illinois. We'd probably even be getting 15.5 or 16 or more. But, yeah, like you said, it looked like shit most of the game. and yeah, everyone's down and everyone's talking Ohio State again, going to be in the top 4. Go to the playoffs. So yeah, I think this could be a little flat spot. Come out. We could probably even do first half also maybe, but we'll see. I guess you and I oppose each other in the late one, huh, Kmart?
Sorry, say that again.
You and I oppose each other in the next one.
Yeah. Should we jump into that one, Cheese? Since you just got one play left.
I only have one play left, but I had 2 different people reach out to me that want us to discuss the Utah-Oregon game also.
Okay.
Well, so why don't you guys do your game? I'll do mine, and then we'll talk. Gino's giving his out, and then we'll talk about Utah-Oregon and wrap this up in about 10 minutes.
Cool. All right, Chris. Here you go.
Yeah, I just think everyone's talking about Oregon State. They, if they beat Oregon, they host them in Corvallis, I believe. They could go to the Pac-12 championship. Everyone's high on them. They're scrappy, and Arizona we do know they're a little bit better than their record shows. They could have knocked off SC. They played Washington tough. I always like to go to Pac-12 after dark. Things get fucking crazy out in Tucson and Tempe when those Arizona teams host. I just see a lot of tickets on Oregon State, but yet the line came down. It's hovering. They're just begging you to take the Beavers here at -3. And I know Kmart's side, it makes sense. There is probably value. What does this look ahead? -6. So 3 does look like perceived value. I'm Mr. fucking hazmat. I'm saying fuck it. Put on the hazmat suit. Give me the fucking ugly home dogs.
Yeah, I mean it is ugly. Like, and Chris, if it were 2.5, I'd probably stay away because that's just that number where it's like, oh, it's too easy. But I do feel like the Beavers should be favored by 5.5, 6, which I know 5 dead number. You'd be all over that too. But like even me, like at 6.5, I'd probably lean to the Wildcats. I mean, I think I was the only one a few weeks ago going into the SC game where I thought this team was a lot better. Like, they're actually very stout defensively. I don't think they're as good as Oregon State. Oregon State's defense isn't as good as last year, but I think they're going to be able to do enough. Fafita, shout out, local kid from HB where I'm from, went to Servite High. Loved getting to see him play against USC. That was really cool. Like, even though obviously I wanted SC to win, it was, quietly cheering for this kid from my hometown. It was just a really fun, energetic game to be at. But yeah, offensively, I think this game's going to be close. I'm just going to take the more experienced Oregon State team who's still battling, for positioning. Arizona Wildcat, they're right there at 4-3. Like, they've had a good year. I think they've already achieved more than a lot of people thought they would. So the future's bright there. And I don't know who's watching this, but if you haven't been to Tucson, I mean, that is a fun college town. It's a fun place to watch a football game, pre-game, post-game. I know it's Tucson, but there's surprisingly a lot to do, and their bars are next level fun. But yeah, it'll be fun. Chris and I going against each other. I'm liking the past few weeks. We've actually had some opposition here. I feel like too many times we had similar plays.
How'd that work out with you when me and you were on opposites?
I mean, I think it's 1-1-1. Like, or maybe I'm 2-1. Yeah, because you pushed one, but I had a better number. Like, I don't know. Yeah. The only shitty one was Notre Dame, obviously.
Yeah. I like it better when we're on the same side. Gino, do you have an opinion on this game? Maybe you see something differently here in this Oregon State game.
I've been partial to Oregon State all year. I side with you guys here. I think I know their defense was better last year, but dude, I've been pretty impressed with them. Maybe I've been lucky in picking them in the right spots, but they've been damn good for me. So I think anytime you can get this Oregon State team cheap, you should hop on it. A lot of people in the country don't realize how good they are out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's really up for debate. This Oregon State team is miles ahead of this Arizona team.
I think the narrative is just Oregon State doesn't play as well away from home. It's like, no shit, Corvallis is, I don't know how, but even for 20 years, it's been a very hard place to play. Even when they've been in the cellar of the Pac-10 at the time, now the 12, there would be top 10 teams going in there and losing. Like it's just always been a tough place to go play. Same with Eugene. Like everyone thinks the Pac-12's down, been down for years. They just always beat the living piss out of each other. Like it's a much, much more competitive conference than people realize. They have the dumbass slogan, Conference of Champions, but they truly are. Like they win. This conference wins at everything because kids want to go to these schools.
Yeah. All right. Well, wrap that one up. I got one more, but shout out my boy Rusty Betts, loyal listener. So I want to throw it out there on record. I'm a better handicapper than him, better golfer than him, and better looking. Shout out Rusty, because I know you're listening. So I went to Boise State, played Boise State -4.5. This is a team that's 10-2 in their last 12 versus Mountain West opponents. I do not believe this Wyoming team is any good. Boise State has a superstar playmaker wide receiver, McAllister, who I expect him to feast on this Wyoming secondary today. So, yeah, and Boise State's coming off a pretty bad L to Colorado State last week, 31-30. I expect this to be a big bounce-back spot. I think Boise State beats them by 10+. So, yeah, Boise State -4.5 is my second official play and my last official play for the show this week. Real quick, if anyone has an opinion on it. If not, I quickly want to touch on this Utah-Oregon game before we get out of here. So what do you guys think?
I'll sneak in one player prop just for those guys out there that stack those TFL.
Let's get it.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm writing it down.
Yeah, I like the under 78.5 Devin Neal rushing yards. Yeah, 100%. I have this capped at 72. Doesn't seem like a lot, but that's 6 big points. And yeah, I just think Oklahoma's the Sooners show up and then hold them here. So this is the one that I have as the highest EV positive running back. I have a bunch of others, but I just wanted to bring one that I had the most value, so I don't go too strong. So Devin Neal, he's going to only have about 70 rushing yards.
And that correlates with before you joined, I was going over the Sooners thinking their defense will show up as well. So yeah, but I like that play as well. Probably.
Gino, I'm not gonna log in live while we're on. What number is that good up to so I could check my site?
Down to.
Yeah, I'll be a little cheerleader for a second. We added no big player props on Bet Openly, so right now I'm looking at it. It's +100 at 78.5 both ways, over and under. So that's the true line, and I have it marked as 72. But at 72, I wouldn't bet it because there's just nothing there. It's a coin flip. So it's in the middle. Take that as high as 70, or excuse me, take that as high as 75 or less. You want the under.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate that. Any opinion here from anyone on this Utah-Oregon game? A couple people wanted us to touch on it. I'll go first real quick.
Yeah, go first.
I cannot bet this Utah team here in this spot. All I've heard all week is how they've only lost one game in the last few seasons at home. They look square to me. This is an Oregon team who still controls their own destiny. And, we've been hearing some rumors. There's some riffraff going on in the locker room with Cam Rising not playing. Hearing from a pretty reliable source that they think he's transferring out, looking to potentially go to Notre Dame. Got that from a pretty good source. Don't know how true it is, but not going to run with that narrative, but just throwing out what I heard. I don't think this Utah team is that good. I don't care that they're impossible to, that they can't lose at home. I think Oregon could beat the brakes off them in this spot. Not confident enough to give it out, but just my opinion, it would be Oregon or nothing for me here. So, what about you guys?
I mean, I'm staying away just because the best those quarterbacks have looked all year were, of course, last week. And I would still side with Utah's defense. But I agree with you. I feel like Oregon, they can't keep up with that scoring. It's in Utah, which is another difficult place to play, but I don't know. I'm probably staying away from this one. I do lean Utah, but like I think he could actually get me to play Oregon just because of offensively, and I don't think Utah can score with them.
Yeah, Gino or Duke, any opinion on this game before we wrap up and get ready for this early slate?
We were getting along so well. I don't want to end on a low note. I'm going to agree with you guys. This is a no. But if you made me bet this, I'm the opposite. I'm going to make me bet this. I'm a Pac-12 guy. I grew up in the Bay Area. Then I went to San Diego. I know San Diego State's not in the Pac-12, but I've been a Pac-12 fan my whole life. And these assholes knock each other out of the playoffs and bowl games like it's no one's business. And they have some sick, deviant little pride in it. And they always get in each other's way. And I'll just tell you, in the last 25 years as I've been betting, if you bet on teams that control their destiny versus another Pac-12 team, you would be down a lot of money. That's all. I've just seen it happen so many times. They're one of those sick friends. If I can't be successful, neither can you.
Yeah, if I can't win, you can't either. Fuck you.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, it happens every. I mean, can we not see SC beating Washington? Right? I mean, they just fucking. I don't know. I lean Cheese's side too. I thought the line would be much lower, so it's kind of more of like a what the fuck to me. I thought it'd be like Oregon -2 or 3. So when I saw 6 or 7, I was like, holy fuck. And I think a lot of people, the general public, go, you're giving this Utah team 6.5, 7 at home. I don't know. It took every single second of those 60 minutes to beat SC. Didn't they win on a game-winning, field goal? So I mean, is it a flat spot coming home? I don't know, but I haven't bet it yet. But I'm hoping my mush, who historically is dog shit, and every dog he took last week, the ranked dogs, the Kentucky, Georgia, the Tennessee again, he goes down. So if he's on this dog, I'll be hammering the Duckies.
Nice. All right. Well, listen, that concludes a Saturday morning show here at Fade You. 4 Idiots. Shout out our boy Gino at Bet Openly. Check out his website, betopenly.com. 1% juice.
Have me on bowl games too. I cap every bowl game. There's not one bowl game I don't give out a total and a spread for.
Yeah. Gino will be back with us for sure. But check out his website. Check us out at 4 Idiots, Fade You. And if you're going to bet today's games, good luck if you tail. Hope you get blasted if you fade. And Duke, what happens sometimes when you bet on shit?
You fucking take Charlotte as a small home dog and they get Florida Atlantic fucking pooped on.
Steamrolls them. That's it. But,
helmets.
That's it. All right, boys. Peace out. Good luck today. And we'll be in touch soon.
Yeah, good seeing all you.